Most people think that introverts are quiet, that we're reserved, or even shy. Being called shy is probably one of the ones that gets on my nerves the most. But here's the truth: introverts aren't quiet, right? We're calculating, and we're not reserved, we're intentional. And when we, as introverts, learn to fully harness who we are, we can truly become unstoppable. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is how to do exactly that. How do we become unstoppable as introverts? And by the end of the video, you're going to see that your personality is your greatest advantage. It's not a limitation. So let's go. Most of us grew up hearing the same story, right? If we want to succeed in life, in our careers, we have to be loud. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to be outgoing. We got to talk to everybody. We always have to be turned on, right? We have to be the energy in the room. But that's an extrovert's definition of success. That's not ours. And here's the negative side of that is it makes us as introverts feel like we're behind, like something's broken, right? We're not enough, and we're really just playing by someone else's rules. And the moment we realize that, we can define our own success differently because we win differently. We don't have to out-talk people, right? We can outthink them. Think about how many times you've been in a meeting or been on a conference call with someone, and you're listening to what's going on, and you immediately have a better response in your head because you already know that person is wrong, right? Or they think they're right, and then you clearly already have something built in your mind that clearly it demonstrates that you have the better answer or the better solution here. We don't have to seek that spotlight, right? We earn it, right? By the skills that we develop, what we bring to the table. When we focus on depth, when we focus on consistency, right? That's how we end. That's how we earn that credit, right? That spotlight. So what is the first step in becoming unstoppable as an introvert? We have to define what winning looks like for us. And for you, I want you to figure out what winning looks like specifically for you. And it's not about being the loudest voice in the room, right? We want to be the clearest one in the room. The next thing I want you to focus on is that introverts are not low energy, right? We're focused energy. We want to learn how to direct our energy strategically, because the last thing that we want to do is get into a place where we risk burning out, and then we start at the very beginning again because now we're lost and we're trying to figure out what we need to do to move forward. When if we focus our energy and we put it in the right places, we can focus on breaking through rather than burning out. So here's a couple things that you can do to put this into practice. So instead of that constant networking that a lot of us hear as we're growing up or in high school, right? You don't have to have this like big, massive circle of networking people that you may or may never talk to again after you have that initial meeting, right? LinkedIn nowadays is not what it used to be, and I would not rely on it at all. What I'm talking about is building relationships and alliances with just a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, 5 people max, people that you will consistently stay in contact with and you can build relationships with as your career grows, and they can see your growth. Another thing that I want you to stop doing is saying yes to every single meeting. If that meeting does not align with what you need to be focusing on and the work that you need to be delivering, then say no, and you can do it strategically. Because when you say yes, it's going to mean something, and people are going to know that you are meaningful and you're showing up to that meeting to provide your insights. The last thing I want you to start doing is I want you to focus on one task, and I want you to do it well. Stop worrying about trying to focus on multiple items at a time because there's only 8 or 9 work hours in the day and you feel like you need to do all of them. That's not the case. More often than not, you have more time than you think you do. and things change, meetings shift around. So focus on what you can control. Focus on your projects, your tasks, and do them really well. So every time we can control where our energy goes, we're building momentum. And when we build momentum as introverts, right, we can become unstoppable. People often will mistake your quiet for weakness. But what I want you to understand is that your quietness is not a weakness, right? Your quietness is your focus, it's your control, and it's your power disguised as being calm and quiet. Every introvert has something that I call the quiet edge. That's why I named my business The Quiet Edge, because we have the ability to see things that others miss because of our ability to observe before we act. I want you to think back to a time where you were in a meeting or on a conference call. You walk into the room and you start seeing how a lot of the people in the room are just reacting to one another, right? They're waiting to talk rather than listening. And what are you doing? You're probably analyzing the room. And when you see people start talking over each other, you're reading the room and you're observing nonverbal cues, you're observing body language. And what that allows you to do is pick up on things that no one else is picking up on. And that gives you insights into how people are interacting with one another. Because what happens is a lot of the people that are being loud and they're talking over each other, they're trying to chase the latest trend. They're trying to figure out, how fast can I move up the ladder? Who do I need to yell at or be loud to or in front of to get noticed? Right? But what we are focusing on as introverts is we're trying to build a timeless skill, right? Something that will never go out of style, something that we have that can always be useful no matter where we are in our careers. Because introverts win by playing the long game. I want you to understand that you don't have to be seen everywhere. I want you to focus on being seen by the right people at the right time. Think about to that small group of people that I want you to focus on in building a network group, right? Those are the people that I want you to share your growth with. And those are the people that need to see you. So when you walk into a room, don't try to match the noise that you're seeing. Don't try to match the reactions. Don't try to talk over people. I want you to focus on your clarity. When you speak up, speak clearly. I want you to amplify that voice, because when you speak up, people are going to notice. I want you to focus on your preparation and your insight and your stillness. People will start picking up on that in a meeting room, especially if you're in person. If you're on a video call, you can do the same thing. Your presence on a video call, actually looking into your camera screen rather than staring at the screen of individuals, right? That presence carries over and people start picking up on that. And people are going to remember you, because what makes people remember certain talks or conferences or TED Talks, they remember people that make them feel something. They don't remember the person that talked the most in that meeting. So here's the real turning point, is the moment that you stop apologizing for being quiet and you start using it as a weapon, everything is going to change. Because introverts aren't here to compete for attention, right? I want you to remember that we are here to command respect. So the question is not, how do I act more extroverted? It's, how do I double down on who I really am? And so when you own that, you become untouchable. And people start noticing your consistency, and they start trusting you under pressure, right? And then they will eventually realize that you're the one who's actually driving things behind the scenes to make sure things get done and make sure deadlines are hit and make sure that a company will eventually make revenue off of a certain product or a launch, right? It's going to be you that people see that's driving everything. So remember, quiet doesn't mean invisible. For you, it means unstoppable. So if you're ready to stop dimming who you are in order to try to fit in, If you're ready to redefine what winning looks like for you and what success looks like on your terms, I want you to hit that like button right now on this video. So it's going to help this video be shared with other people that are out there looking for how to become successful. Because in the quiet edge, right, the community that we're building, right, this is all about introverts who are done playing small, right? We want to build our clarity, we want to build our confidence, and we want to build that power together. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you do that. So right now, I'm going to ask you to drop a comment below with the one word that you're feeling right now after watching this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you want to keep learning more and be notified when I release a video every week. And remember, you already have everything you need to become unstoppable. Sometimes you just need a reminder. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.